Since the introduction of the Gixxer and the Gixxer SF in 2014 and 15, there haven't been many new launches from Suzuki. In fact, the Intruder, which was launched in 2017, was the only new product to be launched during this time. A quick look at the motorcycles they have on offer and you'd notice a huge gap in their product portfolio. They have literally nothing between the Gixxer and the V-Strom 650. Now that's a huge gap to have, especially considering the rivals have already got a jump start in the 250 to 400cc segment. But as they say, it's better late than never. Suzuki has finally brought in the 250cc Gixxer and with it given an update to the Gixxer SF 155 as well. We are at the Buddha International Circuit to find out how these two perform. The Suzuki Gixxer SF250 looks exactly how a full-fare 250 should. It's sharp and sporty. The fairing has a really nice, clean and edgy design to it. We love how the 12-litre tank is muscular and adds to the overall appeal of the motorcycle. Although the grab handles are large, they flow seamlessly into the overall design of the motorcycle. Now the Gixxer SF155 looks exactly identical to the 250, except for the decals on the fairing and the paint scheme. In comparison to the outgoing model, this one gets split seats and a clip-on handlebar, just like the 250. Both the motorcycles get LED lighting. The instrument cluster has been tweaked marginally for a different layout and now has white backlit instead of orange. We wish it displayed a little more information though. The SF250 sports a dual-channel ABS while the SF comes with a single-channel unit. At the heart of the Gixxer 250 is an all-new 249cc oil-cooled motor. Now this motor makes about 26 horsepower and 22 Nm. Now these figures are exactly identical to the Inazuma Suzuki had on sale a few years back. But this motor, however, is an all-new single-cylinder unit. The motor has a strong mid-range which should help while riding in the city. Although it isn't the freest revving motor out there, it doesn't feel ill at ease even when the digital tacho is pointed around the 9000 RPM mark. The engine feels impressively refined with barely any intrusive vibration on the handlebar, pegs or the seat. And by that virtue, the Gixxer SF250 promises to be a good touring option too. You can easily hold speeds of about 120 kph without feeling strained. As far as top speed is concerned, we did manage to clock a speedo indicated 157 kmph on the back straight of the BIC. Although the Gixxer SF155 has the same motor as the outgoing model, this one makes slightly lesser power. Now Suzuki claims that they have readied this engine for the BS6 norms, which has resulted in the drop in the power. This means when the new norms kick in, the Gixxer 155 twins will not have to go through a lot of changes. With the revised, more strengthened chassis and the new clip-on handlebar, the bike now weighs 146 kilos, 6 kilos over its predecessor. On the road though, the difference is barely noticeable. The engine remains as peppy and crisp as before. It still has the strong bottom and mid-range, which will make it incredible fun to ride on the streets, just like the model it replaces. While we managed to clock 127 kmph on the back straight at BIC, we did feel the need for more power, especially while making corner exits. In all fairness though, this is the result of the vastness of the track. On public roads, it should surely feel sufficient, especially for novice riders. The 5-speed transmission remains unchanged and continues to shift with precision. The Gixxer SF250 also gets the revised and strengthened chassis. The frame downpipe has been thickened by 0.3 mm. Although that number may not seem much, Suzuki claims that it has resulted in a 12% increase in torsional rigidity. The 250 sits on telescopic forks up front and a swing arm type monoshock at the rear. The Duo have been set up well to ensure that the Gixxer SF felt nimble and planted. Direction changes as well as mid-corner bumps don't upset the motorcycle. The MRF tires that it rides on are white, grippy and felt confident out on track. But the position of the foot pegs did play spoilsport while cornering.
Coming back to the 150, all the changes made to the chassis may have added a lot of weight, but it has also made it that much more confident and engaging. The agility with which the bike leans into corners is pleasantly surprising. In fact, given the 15 kg weight difference from the Gixxer SF250, this one feels a lot more responsive and effortless than its larger sibling.
At 1.70 lakh, the Gixxer SF250 might seem like an expensive proposition at first, especially given that the Bajaj Dominar costs just a couple of thousands more. But when you consider its other competition like the Honda CBR 250 and the 250 Duke, the Suzuki suddenly makes a lot more sense.
There is also the Yamaha Phazer 2.5 in this class, but it makes considerably lesser power despite displacing a similar 249cc. Coming back to the motorcycle itself, the Gixxer SF250 has such an uncomplicated formula that it is hard to go wrong with. The motorcycle feels punchy enough for city duties as well as the occasional highway halts. It has a comfortable riding posture and above all, it looks like $1,000,000. It is then a good balance of sporty styling and everyday usability, something that will surely find a lot of takers.
Suzuki has launched the Gixxer SF155 and 1.09 lakhs. Now that is a premium of 11,000 over the outgoing model. At that additional price, you get LED headlamps, an all-new design and a strengthened chassis.
From little things come big things. That is the story of the 2019 Gixxer SF. The first gen model was already an impressive motorcycle, but with the small changes, Suzuki has managed to make it better in almost every aspect. At Rs 1.09 lakh, it does demand almost Rs 11,000 over its predecessor, a cost that might not be entirely justified, especially given that it sports the same components underneath. To us though, we would pay the premium just for the engaging ride it has to offer. It's easily among the most fun 150s out there.